Welcome to the Obsolete Extraordinary. This is your host, Asef. In the annals of automotive history, certain cars transcend their mechanical purpose to become cultural touchstones, symbols of an era's ambitions and technological capabilities. The Lamborghini Miura, which debuted at the 1966 Geneva Motor Show, belongs to this rare category of vehicles that fundamentally altered how the world understood high-performance automobiles. When Ferruccio Lamborghini's engineers unveiled this revolutionary machine, they did not simply introduce another Grand Tourer. They invented an entirely new category of vehicle that would come to define automotive desire for generations to come. The Miura did not merely compete with the established elite of Ferrari, Aston Martin, and Maserati. It created a new benchmark against which all subsequent supercars would be measured. The Miura's significance extends far beyond its impressive specifications or its stunning aesthetics, though both were remarkable beyond measure. This automobile represented the fulfillment of Ferruccio Lamborghini's vision, his determination to build the perfect grand touring car, a vehicle that combined genuine racing capability with everyday usability and breathtaking beauty. Where other manufacturers had attempted compromises between performance and comfort, the Miura refused to compromise at all. It was simultaneously a serious performance machine capable of competing with purpose-built racing cars and a luxurious grand tourer that could cross continents in comfort and style. This remarkable synthesis of seemingly contradictory objectives established the template for what a supercar could and should be. To understand the Miura, one must first understand the extraordinary man whose name it bears. Ferruccio Lamborghini was born in 1916 in the province of Ferrara, Italy, and grew up during an era of economic hardship and political upheaval that would shape his character and ambitions. After World War II, Ferruccio recognized an opportunity in the devastated Italian agricultural sector, where farmers needed affordable, reliable tractors to rebuild their lives and livelihoods. He established Lamborghini Trattoria in 1948, and within a decade, his company had become one of Italy's leading tractor manufacturers, producing machines that combined innovative engineering with remarkable durability. This success provided Ferruccio with both the financial resources and the engineering confidence to pursue his true passion, building the perfect automobile. Ferruccio Lamborghini was not merely a successful industrialist. He was also a passionate automotive enthusiast who owned numerous sports cars, including several Ferraris. However, his experiences with these supposedly elite vehicles left him frustrated with what he perceived as fundamental flaws: clutches that wore out quickly, engines that overheated, and a general lack of refinement that seemed unworthy of the premium prices being charged. When he attempted to discuss these issues with Enzo Ferrari, the response was dismissive and condescending, a reaction that Ferruccio found intolerable. The famous story of their meeting, whether told with complete historical accuracy or enhanced by legend, established the foundation for Lamborghini's automotive ambitions. If Ferrari could not build a truly refined grand touring car, Ferruccio decided, he would build one himself that would shame the process. Automobili Lamborghini was established in 1963, with headquarters in Sant'Agata, a small town near Bologna in northern Italy. Ferruccio assembled a remarkable team of engineers and designers, including Gian Paolo Dallara, who had worked at both Ferrari and Maserati, and Paolo Martin, who would later found the celebrated Pininfarina rival Carrozzeria Bertone's design studio. The company's first vehicle, the 350 GT, debuted in 1964 and demonstrated that Lamborghini could compete with established manufacturers in the grand touring segment. The 400 GT followed, improving on the original formula with enhanced performance and refinement. These vehicles established Lamborghini's reputation for engineering excellence and set the stage for the revolutionary project that would follow. The 350 GT and 400 GT proved that Lamborghini's engineering approach could challenge Ferrari at its own game. But Ferruccio had something far more ambitious in mind. While the grand touring market was lucrative and prestigious, he recognized an opportunity to create something entirely new, a vehicle that would combine the raw performance of a racing car with the usability of a grand tourer, wrapped in a body so beautiful that it would stop traffic wherever it appeared. This vision would require not merely incremental improvements to existing designs, but a fundamental reconceptualization of what a high-performance road car could be. The project that emerged from this ambition would become the Lamborghini Miura, and it would change automotive history forever. When Ferruccio Lamborghini approached Bertone with his vision for a revolutionary new sports car, the design house assigned a young designer named Marcello Gandini to develop the concept. At just 25 years old, Gandini was already demonstrating the extraordinary talent that would make him one of the most influential automotive designers in history. Working with the fundamental premise that form should follow function, Gandini created a body that was not merely beautiful but aerodynamically efficient, structurally sound, and mechanically integrated in ways that previous car designs had never achieved. The Miura's wedge shape, with its low nose, rising belt line, and distinctive pop-up headlights, established a design language that would influence automotive styling for decades and immediately identified the car as something entirely new. The Miura's design was revolutionary in its totality, but several elements deserve particular attention. The low, aggressive nose, which extended only 43 inches from the ground, gave the car an unmistakable presence while serving the practical purpose of reducing frontal area and improving aerodynamic efficiency. The rising belt line, which swept upward toward the rear deck, created the impression of forward motion even when the car was stationary and contributed to the driver's sense of being at one with the machine. The prominent fenders, which housed wide tires capable of transmitting the engine's tremendous power to the road, announced the Miura's serious performance intentions without apology or compromise. Most significantly, the mid-engine layout, which placed the transmission behind the driver and the V12 engine ahead of the rear axle, provided the perfect weight distribution for ultimate handling while creating the silhouette that would define the supercar category. The Miura's mid-engine configuration represented the most significant engineering decision in the car's development, and one that would prove prophetic in its influence on subsequent sports car design. While Formula One racing cars had utilized mid-engine layouts since the 1950s, no production road car had successfully implemented this configuration, which offered significant advantages in terms of weight distribution, handling balance, and overall vehicle dynamics. By placing the massive V12 engine ahead of the rear axle but behind the driver, Lamborghini's engineers achieved new perfect weight distribution that allowed the Miura to corner with a precision and predictability that left drivers struggling to find the car's limits. The mechanical layout also created an unmistakable profile, with a long hood that characterized front-engine sports cars replaced by a compact nose that barely cleared the front tires. The mid-engine layout required entirely new approaches to suspension design, cooling system architecture, and drivetrain layout. Lamborghini's engineers, led by John Paolo Dallara, developed a sophisticated independent suspension system that combined double wishbones at each corner with sophisticated coil spring and damper arrangements that maintained optimal tire contact with a road surface under all conditions. The chassis, constructed from steel tubing with aluminum body panels attached, provided exceptional rigidity while keeping weight within reasonable bounds. These engineering decisions, while challenging and expensive to implement, created a vehicle that handled with a precision and predictability that contemporary drivers described as almost telepathic, responses that would remain remarkable by any standard, let alone for a vehicle from the 1960s. The heartbeat of the Miura was Lamborghini's legendary V12 engine, a power plant whose origins stretched back to the company's earliest days and whose development would continue for decades. The initial P400 variant, which powered the first Miuras, displaced 3.9 liters and produced 350 horsepower at 7,000 revolutions per minute, remarkable figures for 1966 and ones that placed the Miura firmly in supercar territory. The engine's quad-cam arrangement, with 2 overhead camshafts per cylinder bank, operated 4 valves per cylinder through mechanical bucket followers, a sophisticated design that allowed high engine speeds while maintaining reliability. The dry sump lubrication system, borrowed directly from racing technology, ensured consistent oil supply regardless of the extreme lateral loads experienced during aggressive cornering, a necessity given the engine's mid-rear placement. The V12 engine's 350 horsepower propelled the Miura from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 6 seconds and onto a top speed of 170 miles per hour, figures that embarrassed cars costing significantly more and established Lamborghini as a serious competitor to Ferrari in the performance hierarchy. Yet the engine's genius lay not merely in its headline figures but in its character. The V12 configuration provided inherent smoothness that inline-6 and V8 engines could not match, while the quad-cam arrangement ensured that power delivery was linear and progressive across the entire rev range. The engine's distinctive wail, rising to a scream as the tachometer needle swept toward redline, became one of the Miura's most celebrated characteristics, a sound that enthusiasts still describe with reverent nostalgia more than 50 years after production began. The combination of sheer power, mechanical sophistication, and unmistakable acoustic character created an engine that was worthy of the extraordinary body that housed it. Throughout its 7-year production run, the Miura evolved through 3 distinct variants, each representing refinements and improvements that enhanced the formula without fundamentally altering the original concept. The P400, produced from 1966 to 1969, represented the pure expression of Gandini's original vision, light, raw, and focused on delivering maximum performance with minimum compromise. The P400 S, introduced in 1968, added features including revised instrumentation, improved interior trim, and a more comfortable suspension calibration that made the Miura more acceptable as a daily driver without sacrificing its fundamental character. The P400 SV, which debuted in 1971, represented the ultimate development of the Miura concept, with wider rear fenders to accommodate wider tires, increased power from the V12 engine, and chassis modifications that improved both stability and handling precision. The Miura SV, often simply called the SV, represented the culmination of everything Lamborghini had learned through 6 years of Miura production. The wider rear fenders, which gave the car a more aggressive stance and improved visual balance, housed massive 315/35 VR15 tires that provided vastly increased grip compared to the earlier car's rear rubber. The engine, officially designated as the same 3.9-liter V12 as before, produced 385 horsepower, though the increase was achieved through more aggressive cam timing, improved breathing, and optimized fuel delivery rather than mere displacement increases. The chassis received modified suspension geometry and improved brake cooling, changes that addressed the few genuine criticisms that had emerged during the Miura's production run. For purists, the SV represents the ultimate Miura, the form in which Gandini's original vision achieved its fullest expression. The Miura's impact extended far beyond the automotive press into the broader cultural consciousness of the 1960s and 1970s. The car's starring role in the opening sequence of the 1969 film The Italian Job introduced the Miura to audiences worldwide, while numerous appearances in fashion shoots, television programs, and celebrity publications established the car as a symbol of success, sophistication, and Italian style. The Miura became the vehicle of choice for industrialists, aristocrats, and entertainers who valued both performance and exclusivity, a combination that no other manufacturer could match at the time. Unlike Ferrari, which required their owners to embrace a certain sporting attitude, the Miura appealed to those who valued speed and beauty but also appreciated the Lamborghini's fundamental Italian character and flair. The Miura's competition career, though less extensive than that of some contemporary sports cars, demonstrated that Lamborghini's creation was no mere grand touring poseur. Several Miuras were entered in various racing events, including the 24 Hours of Le Mans, where the car's combination of straight-line speed and handling precision proved competitive against purpose-built racing machinery. The Miura's racing exploits, while never approaching the dominance that Ferrari achieved in this era, established that the car's performance credentials were genuine rather than merely theoretical. Even today, the Miura remains a popular competitor in historic racing events, where its combination of period-correct appearance and genuine supercar performance continues to captivate drivers and spectators alike. The list of famous Miura owners reads like a who's who of late 20th century achievement. The car attracted buyers from around the world, including royalty, industrialists, and entertainers who recognized in the Miura the ultimate expression of automotive aspiration. The Sultan of Brunei reportedly owned numerous Miuras during his legendary automotive collecting years, while American entertainers and European industrialists similarly recognized the Lamborghini as the ultimate status symbol. The Miura transcended mere transportation to become a statement of values, proof that its owner had achieved the pinnacle of success and could afford to indulge in the most extraordinary luxuries available. The exclusivity of the Miura, with total production numbering only 764 examples across all variants, ensured that ownership remained the province of the truly exceptional. The Lamborghini Miura's evolution from exclusive supercar to investment-grade collector's asset represents one of the most dramatic appreciation stories in the classic car market. Through the 1970s, 1980s, and much of the 1990s, Miuras could be purchased for relatively modest sums by contemporary standards, with examples changing hands for prices that seemed extraordinary for the era but would seem impossibly low by today's standards. Enthusiasts who recognized the Miura's historical significance during this period were able to acquire exceptional examples at prices that would prove remarkably prescient investments. The restoration of neglected Miuras, often performed by dedicated owners unwilling to see such significant machinery disappear, preserved examples that would eventually become irreplaceable treasures. By the early 2000s, the market had recognized the Miura's historical importance, and prices began a sustained period of appreciation that continues to this day. Today, the most desirable examples, numbers matching SV variants in exceptional original or correctly restored condition, regularly command prices exceeding $2 million, with exceptional examples approaching or exceeding $3 million at major auction houses. The P400 and P400 S variants, while historically significant, have experienced more modest appreciation, with prices generally ranging from $500,000 to $1.5 million depending on condition and provenance. Investment-grade Miuras now represent serious financial assets, with preservation, documentation, and authenticity becoming increasingly important to market value. The Miura's status as the first supercar, combined with its stunning design and genuine performance credentials, ensures continued demand from collectors worldwide. Restoring a Lamborghini Miura to Conquer's standards represents one of the most challenging and expensive undertakings in the classic car restoration world. The aluminum body panels, while beautiful and relatively resistant to rust, requires specialized knowledge to repair and finish correctly, as the material behaves quite differently from the steel panels found in most classic cars. The mid-engine layout, while providing exceptional performance characteristics, complicates access to the V12 engine and associated mechanical systems, making routine maintenance and major rebuilds equally time-consuming and expensive. Finding correct replacement parts can prove challenging, with some components available only through specialists or requiring careful fabrication based on original specifications. The V12 engine, while robust and durable when properly maintained, requires meticulous attention during restoration to achieve optimal performance and longevity. The quad-cam arrangement, while sophisticated for its era, demands careful timing adjustment and valve train maintenance that requires specialized knowledge and tools. The electrical system, while improved from earlier Lamborghini models, still requires methodical troubleshooting to address the intermittent faults that inevitably develop in vehicles approaching their sixth decade. The Miura's rarity means that many restoration shops have limited experience with the model, making it essential to engage specialists who understand the unique challenges these cars present. The costs of a complete restoration can easily exceed the price of a driver-quality example, making original, well-maintained cars increasingly valuable to collectors who recognize the challenges of restoring neglected examples. The Miura's influence on subsequent automotive design extends far beyond Lamborghini's own product line. The wedge profile that Gandini pioneered in the Miura became the defining aesthetic of the supercar genre, influencing everything from the Lamborghini Countach and DeLorean to numerous concept cars and production vehicles across decades. The mid-engine layout, which was revolutionary for road cars in 1966, became the standard configuration for high-performance sports cars and supercars, adopted by Ferrari, Porsche, McLaren, and virtually every manufacturer seeking to build the ultimate performance vehicle. The Miura proved that a supercar could be genuinely beautiful, that performance did not require aesthetic compromise, and that Italian design sensibility could achieve objectives that the established manufacturers had never attempted. Even Lamborghini's competitors acknowledged the Miura's design supremacy. Ferrari, despite producing vehicles that defined Italian automotive beauty, recognized the Lamborghini's achievement and adjusted their own design language in response. The Miura's success validated Ferruccio Lamborghini's vision and established his company as a serious competitor to the established elite of Ferrari and Maserati. The fundamental insight that the supercar category required dedicated chassis architecture rather than merely powerful engines in existing designs shaped the expectations that enthusiasts and manufacturers continue to bring to high-performance vehicle development today. Today, the Lamborghini Miura occupies a unique position in the classic car world, simultaneously recognized as a masterpiece of automotive design, appreciated as an investment-grade collector's asset, and enjoyed as a genuinely capable grand tourer by the fortunate few who retain access to these remarkable machines. The Lamborghini Miura Register and similar clubs organize events that bring together owners for rallies, concours d'elegance, and social gatherings. These events provide opportunities for owners to share knowledge, display their vehicles, and experience the unique character of Miura ownership. The car's continuing capability as usable transportation means that Miuras regularly appear on the world's roads, their distinctive V12 whale announcing their presence to anyone within earshot. Major automotive museums worldwide recognize the Miura's historical significance, with significant examples displayed alongside other landmarks of automotive history. The Museo Automobili Lamborghini in Santa Catalogna, the Lauman Museum in the Netherlands, and numerous other institutions include important Miuras as part of their permanent displays. These institutions ensure that future generations will have the opportunity to experience the car that invented the supercar concept, preserving not merely the vehicles themselves but the story of their creation, significance, and enduring appeal. The Miura's position in automotive history seems secure, as long as enthusiasts continue to recognize and celebrate the achievement that Ferruccio Lamborghini, Marcello Gandini, Gianpaolo Dallara, and the remarkable team at Lamborghini accomplished in 1966. When the final Miura rolled off the production line in 1973, Lamborghini had produced a vehicle that had fulfilled Ferruccio Lamborghini's vision, the first true supercar, while establishing new standards for design, engineering, and performance in the automotive world. The Miura proved that an Italian upstart could compete with and defeat the established European elite. It demonstrated that beauty and performance could coexist, that technical excellence required aesthetic commitment, and that a car could simultaneously serve as serious transportation, investment-grade art, and rolling sculpture. Nearly 6 decades after its debut, the Lamborghini Miura continues to captivate enthusiasts, command premium prices, and inspire designers who seek to create vehicles worthy of comparison to this remarkable machine. The Lamborghini Miura story is ultimately a story about ambition, innovation, and the pursuit of perfection. It is about an industrialist who refused to accept mediocrity, a young designer who trusted his vision over convention, and a car that proved the impossible was merely the not yet attempted. In an era when established manufacturers struggled to compete with each other in narrow niches, Ferruccio Lamborghini created a vehicle that transcended category and definition to become something entirely new, the first supercar, and so much more. For that achievement alone, the Miura deserves its place among the greatest automobiles ever built, the first supercar, and the car that changed everything. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Lamborghini Miura's remarkable history, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more content exploring the golden age of automotive design. Click the notification bell to never miss an update, and let us know in the comments which classic supercar you'd like us to explore next.